That was so funny.
Hi, Merch Money. Look at us already laughing before we even started. Welcome, and I apologize to anybody who may have tried to log on earlier. I got the time mixed up. I always forget that we're all over the world. So 1 p.m. to me is Eastern Standard Time, but Fernando is on Central Time. So it's 1 p.m. for him now.
Yeah, I mean, it has happened to me. One time I arrived to a live call 2 hours way too early.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I started the live when it's like, where's everybody? And it's like, the host is like, we're not starting until 2 hours. It's like, yeah, but it's the way it is. This world is changing so fast, and we are like literally time zones is becoming hard to keep up, like where's everybody?
It would be kind of interesting if they somehow came up with some kind of like unified time or something. Who knows? But anyway.
That's some heavy wishful thinking right there.
Yeah. Like not like actual time, but like how there's military time and stuff. It'd be kind of cool if there'd be like a online world time or something. Who knows? Anyway. Well, we will be talking about Shopify today, but we'll wait for a couple more people to log in. I was talking to Fernando beforehand because Fernando is also on Clubhouse. And you guys know I've been having fun on that app the last couple weeks. So I've only done, I think, one live with Fernando, but when we did that, a lot of people were asking questions about Shopify and about what is the best, what's it called? Like fulfillment partner to use. So I was impressed with all of Fernando's answers. I know all of them too, but not as well as he does. Like I tend to say Printful or something like that, but he knew more. Like, T-Lunch and all these different things and how much margin with every product. So anyway, we were having fun talking about that on Clubhouse. But then I was happy that now you're doing a boot camp because so many people this year seem to be interested in starting Shopify stores.
It started, honestly, this bootcamp started because our people ask me, like, I've done a couple of Shopify, challenges. Those ones, like the 5 days, 5 tasks. Yeah. And in Etsy, it's very easy to do those challenges, right? It's like, if they want to open the store, but the store is already in the marketplace. So you don't do much to it. You just open the store and set up the credit card information and you open a store. And I put your banner, put your logo. We do that. Integrated with the Printful, yes, done. Okay, next, integrate, create a product, boom, boom. Now run your first ad. Congratulations, you have finished the challenge, 5 steps, right? Of course, there's a lot of different things you have to do in between to make it right and make it work correctly, right? But people keep asking me, Fernando, do a Shopify challenge. And I've been trying to come up with a challenge for at least a year and how to do it in 5 days. And I just kind of find any way to do it. It's like, okay, open a store. Okay, it's like a black white canvas, right? It's like, okay, store has been opened. I opened the store, entered my email. Now what? Has no menu, has no pages, has no images, has, and it's like, okay, what is the first task? What is the second task? And after 5 tasks, it's like, okay, where are we? Are we even close to launching? No, I mean, I tried so many times on finding a way to do that, and I just couldn't find one logical way for me to be able to create one challenge that could help people actually do something, right? Because the purpose of the challenge is that, yes, we do it with some marketing, in mind for ourselves, some gain, of course, but we also want to give, everybody who's doing it, at least get them in the right path of achieving something, where they feel that they can start a business and they can, get onto a platform. And Shopify, it was used in that way. So last year I had my course, but not everybody likes courses. I understand that. Yeah. And I understood it last year when I did the Etsy workshop, is that a lot of people tell me, yeah, we have seen your course, but we wanted more like a hands-on. They want more like you going live, step by step, where we can interrupt you. You can tell us why and explain the reasons and tell us what it needs to be done. And the same thing, start asking people and to telling me, yeah, the Shopify thing is the same way, right? If the course is there, I mean, I had the course for over a year now, but there's people who prefer, honestly, to go and say, okay, let me block the times that are going to be for the next 4 sessions that are going to be, and let me set those times apart. I'm going to focus my full attention, because if I don't do it, then I'm going to end up with recordings and I probably will never watch them again. So I'm going to commit myself to go into these hours, watch the live, and be there and ask the questions while I open my own Shopify store and I started following what you're doing. And the videos in the course, they're very good, because there's 10-15 minute videos where I try to simplify the process in doing something there, and it's like, okay, this is what you got to do because this and that, but I have to keep in mind that the attention span of somebody watching those videos is no more than 10 minutes. So you have to make sure that those videos stay in that. When we're in a workshop, I can expand a little bit more. Now, I won't cover everything that I will cover in the course, because the course it is systematic. I know exactly what I'm going to add in each one of the videos, and I go through my store and I separate it by step and what it needs to be done. In a workshop, it's 4 sessions of 2 hours, so it may be a couple of sessions that it will be like, what, we might not be able to cover this, so I'm going to give you access to the video, how to do that in there. And I won't be able to cover every single supplier, because it will take me days to integrate and know how to use every supplier. Whereas in the course, I have like 8 different suppliers, that how to integrate them, how to add a product, how to do this. So it's like all these extra apps that I use are also in the course. In here, I don't want to spend a lot of time, in those extra apps and how to integrate them. For example, I won't spend a lot of time in how to integrate Klaviyo, which is the auto-response system, the email marketing, because that would take a whole class, to do that, right? So, I mean, and honestly, it is email marketing, as you know, it is an art on itself, right? And it's something that I don't even believe at this point I have even mastered myself. So, and that's what there is. Email marketing experts, and that's what they are, experts, and that's what they are, product experts, So it's like, I mean, everybody has experience on something, and I prefer that you want to learn email marketing, you go with somebody who is an expert in email marketing. They are going to teach you far faster, easier, and less complicated than I could explain to you, because I am still a learner, in that area.
Well, we want to real quick just say hi to everybody watching. We want to say hi to Susan and Gino. Thank you guys, and everybody else. But yeah, so we had talked. Anybody who missed that show, we did. I think Fernando you might be the most times on our show of anyone. I think you might have been our guest that's come back the most. You win the prize. But anyway,
everything, I guess, huh?
Yeah, you really have, because you've been on with Michelle, and then you've been on with, I don't know, somehow we've had you for many different topics, Etsy, Shopify, all kinds of stuff. So if you guys ever missed that show we did with Fernando about his Shopify course, that is, I think maybe last year we did it.
It was last year, probably around this time.
And that is still available, right? If people decide to do it that way.
And honestly, the course alone is $247, but right now you buy the workshop. The workshop is only $97, and we put the Shopify course. We put it there as an upsell at the checkout. It will be like a little upsell box, like like one-time offer kind of deal. Like if you go to ClickFunnels, like, hey, wait, the course for $99 there as well. So you can get the workshop and the course for less than you will pay for the full course.
Yeah.
So
I like the idea of the boot camp, because you're right. It's really fun when you get to be doing it with other people. Like it's like a class all together. Because if you just buy a course that that you're doing by yourself, it's kind of lonely, because it's like you don't have other people to go along with you. So I think the boot camp idea is a great idea, because it'll be kind of fun for all the people interested in starting a store this year.
They are. I mean, it's for people who haven't followed me, where how about my course, or belong to my mastermind. Zoom has made it so easy for us to teach, because now we can have you can share your screen and you can start showing what you're doing, and people can pick up the microphone and start talking to you at the same time. And it's not like here that we are, that everybody is locked from having conversation with us. So when you're doing a boot camp now, or a workshop, or however you want to call it, just boot camp sound kind of cool, so I went with that. Sounding more expensive in a way, but it makes that right. And also I learn a lot also when I'm doing this, because people ask me questions and sometimes I'm like, you know what, I never thought about that. And so it's like a circle where everybody gets to learn from each other, because when you are taking a course on your own, you question a lot of what's in the course, but you're afraid to go to the group and ask that question, right? Because you don't want to be the one that asks, right? So and thankfully, people that buy my program with coaching, so they are like, okay, if I'm going to explain this, and we go and work on that. But the ones that don't have the coaching, or the ones to do that, they don't get to ask the question, or they don't get to hear other people ask the question.
When Plus, it's just the enthusiasm of everyone doing it together.
When you're in a workshop, it's like 20, 30 people that are taking at the same time the class, and at least one is going to ask the question, right? So they interrupt me. They tell me, hey, can you further explain that? Why do we have to do that? Is this really important? Is this really necessary? And then I can say, okay, I guess my explanation wasn't good enough. Let me go a little wider, with the contents. And that is why the workshops work so well. I mean, the only reason I don't do this ones very often is because they're time consuming,
They really are. Real quick, sorry, Tony is asking where we can find this. And if you're watching on Facebook, there should be a post above the video and it has a link. And then if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description of the YouTube video.
Yes. If not, you message her, message Helen, and she will give you a link.
Yeah.
But
and it starts on Wednesday, a week from now.
Yes,
Wednesday the 3rd. Okay, so it starts in a week.
Yeah, Monday. Michelle and I started one time a workshop on Monday, and it was painful. Not only for us, but also for our guests, because the weekend was long and stuff like that. So I said, you know what, let people they were out of focus because they also wanted to do other stuff or this task, and so we learned that the workshop started better. You're doing on a Wednesday. Tuesday will be better, but sadly that week I have what's the name? I have my mastermind calls with the people from my membership. So Tuesdays is the day that they picked, and I mean, it will be unfair to tell them, hey, you know what, I'm gonna cancel your call because I'm gonna do something else. Yeah. So that it's gonna be on Wednesday. But the purpose is to help people achieve, the Shopify store. Because one thing we learned last year, Helen, is that e-commerce is here to stay.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, and I don't like getting political or anything, but look at right now how the economics is right now. People using the first last couple of weeks, more people have lost jobs than in a while. Yeah. So. And the first thing they started people looking around is e-commerce, right? It's because it's like it has the reputation that it's easy, fast, and simple. But I mean, in reality, it is easy, fast, and simple. You just want to make it as a hobby, right? Once you want to start getting into reality and start looking for full-time income, it becomes a job. It becomes a business. Mm-hmm. But one thing last year taught us is that when we are in royalty-based companies, we are completely out of control of our business. We control absolutely zero aspects of it. I mean, Merch by Amazon decided that they were not going to be producing because whatever regulation came, which they could have probably figured out a way to get around it, but they didn't want to, because a lot of print-demand companies found loopholes to become, still operational. Merch decided they didn't, and with that, it was, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of sellers that didn't get any royalty for almost 2 months, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's pause there for 1 second. I know we have some new people that found us from Clubhouse and found us from a couple other things. So if you're catching this and you don't know what we're talking about, we are covering print on demand, and with print on demand, a lot of people in this group started with Merch by Amazon. And Merch by Amazon is where you can just upload a design and Amazon will print it for you and ship it to customers. So that's how a lot of us got our start. But the problem with that is that Amazon is the seller on record. And so they're in control of your business. You don't get the email addresses. You don't get the like your own little storefront. It's all under Amazon. And you just get a royalty for everything that's sold. So sometimes that's great. And sometimes it's problematic because like what happened last year, it completely shut down for a full month. So with Shopify, it's a little different because you own the business, you're the seller, and you get the email addresses, you get to have more of a contact with customers and build your own customer base. And when you're in charge of your own customer base, it just gives you a lot more freedom. Because even if you decide you want to do something else other than Shopify, you can kind of direct your customers anywhere that you want to. So anyway,
sorry, I
back
forgot.
to you.
You were catering to a new audience as well, because this is merch money. So also maybe merch is right. But and then we go into the other areas, right? We went into the Etsy and Printful, Printify, all these suppliers that were into Etsy were having a mess in delivery times, and then add that to because the whole supply chain was completely damaged, right? Because something were from China, then they couldn't cross borders, then they couldn't go into the into the transportation because there was there was not enough transportation to transfer products from state to state, and then you went into some companies were in their corporate houses were in lockdown, and then the whole supply chain got completely out of control. That a product that sometimes will take about 2 to 3 days to print, ship, and deliver, we're taking 30 to 45 days. In some cases in Printful, and a lot of people were afraid at this point of losing their accounts, on Etsy. So a lot of people decided, you know what, I am not going to sell in Q4 because I am not going to risk my account. And you asked me that I will have continue, and if I lose it, whatever, I will find another business income stream. But some people decided, hey, you know what, I am not going to continue with this because that's my livelihood. I'd rather wait until next year, and start from scratch again. And that puts you in a situation where you're like, okay, I have zero control of my business and royalty, and then I am at the mercy of the suppliers and of a marketplace judging me on things that are completely out of my control. And it leaves only one logical option is going to Shopify. In Shopify, you are not going to shut down yourself because you delivered late. You may get an angry customer, but that is what you go and say, you know what, I told you we were taking long delivery times, stuff like that. And you had the tracking to back you up. As long as you have tracking, PayPal is always going to defend you. If you don't have tracking, then no. So it's about now you're doing your business the right way, and you just gotta be, and if your supplier shuts down, well, you find another supplier because you can move your printing to another company because thankfully there are different companies in different states. So there was at least one company operating at any given time, and you build relationships with different companies, you will always have a supplier, so you never had to shut down. I honestly don't know any single friend of mine, including myself, that we had to shut down our Shopify store because we couldn't get product. And that was a big plus for us.
Yes. So much to unpack there. So much to talk about. Real quick, I just want to say hi to Mike. Mike is saying it's good to see you both again. So thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And so much with that. So for one thing is you're talking about Etsy. So a lot of people are doing Merch by Amazon. That one, it's just solely royalty. You don't have your own brand really at all very much. You can, some people do more or less, but your shirts are kind of mixed in with merches. Etsy is like the next step where you do have your own brand, you do have your own store, but like Fernando's saying, it is a platform. You are under the Etsy's brand in a way. So that's what he's talking about your store could get shut down if Etsy decides that you're not meeting the right criteria. Shopify is the next step where it really is your own brand. I mean, technically, I think Shopify could shut you down, but it's much more rare than any of the other platforms, and you're getting the customer's email address. So worst case scenario, if that somehow happened, you still have the email addresses for your customers, and you could always, build a website some other way. So yes.
Yeah, Shopify can shut you down if they get complaints about your store, which they could get. Now, the one that could probably shut you down could probably be PayPal, because they see that you have a lot of undelivered products, or they can put your account on hold, saying, you know what, until we see more orders being delivered, that is what we're going to do that. Now, they can go and see, hey, my delivery times is XYZ. And of course, I don't think we're going to have those problems that we had last year, this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
But because more companies are getting more, they're streamlining their processes, they're doing better. Some of these companies decided to say, okay, we're gonna go with less products, so that we can go wide instead of be saturated with so many production lines with different products. We're gonna go with less products, and that's what you're seeing. For example, in T-Launch, they have removed like about a third of the products. They're like, okay, let's remove the products that are not really making the money, used to focus on the ones so that we don't have any backlogs. And the same thing is happening with Printful and stuff like that. They are getting more into operations, and they're streamlining their processes so that we don't have to go into those problems that we have last year, because they also had the nightmare to deal with us, right? I mean,
and guys, if you don't know what he's talking about, this will be covered in the Shopify class in the bootcamp. So T-Launch and Printful, those are just suppliers that will print the t-shirts for you. And he knows so many other ones. So I know the basic ones: Printify, Printful, T-Launch, a few different ones, Custom Cat. But he's able to just list them all off and exactly how much the margins are for each one. And some people are more interested in one product versus another. So t-shirts are like the obvious one we talk about, but there's so many other products available. And there's even like Shine On that does jewelry, and there's so many different products. So if there's a specific product that you're interested in, that's a great thing to talk about in the boot camp, and just ask him and be like, I really want to sell cell phone cases. What is the best company for that? Or I really want to sell, whatever. There's so many things, leggings or whatever it is. He'll be able to point you in the direction.
I was in Reno about 2 years ago. I was with Don Wilson, with Chris Hansey, Akil, all the owners of print-on-demand companies, and we were talking about how many products there are. There are 22,000 possible print-on-demand products available.
Oh, okay, and that's probably going up every day.
Because this is very simple. I mean, if you can print on something, it can be a print-on-demand product. So, I mean, now, will print-on-demand companies carry all those products? Most likely no, because some of them are not really profitable, and they become more like, for advertisement, or that you have to buy in bulk in order to get those, like buttons or patches, stuff like that. They are not really profitable for print-on-demand, but they can be done print-on-demand if you find the right supplier, right? Now, in Shopify, the typical is, of course, one of the big advantages of having Shopify is that the only royalty-based company that offers good quality customization products is Zazzle, right? Mm-hmm. Other than that, you cannot offer, print-on-demand customizable products, in royalty. Etsy, you can offer them, but you have to do everything by hand, which it becomes a total pain. And unless you are your own employee and you're doing full-time this and you value your hourly rate at enough at that range where you say, okay, I'm going to spend 30 minutes of my time making the customization for an extra $4, I mean, it becomes completely logical.
So that means customization just means like if the person wants to put their name, or they want to put the year, or they want to add something. So there's a design, but then they want to add in something to make it personal. So their kid's name, their dog's name, like something like that. And that's a very good point. People are getting, print on demand a few years ago was just so brand new that people were just excited that they could get a design that was not found in stores. But now it's been around a while, and people are getting more and more demanding, more and more picky, and they would like it to be further customized. Even though it's a unique design, they would also like their name in there, or they would also like their birthday or whatever it is. So That is a very, very good point.
Shopify, you can do all levels of customization.
Yeah.
You can allow somebody to upload their own design, add text to it, and do whatever they want if that's what they want to do. You can have your own design and complete it with their own name or whatever phrase they want. I mean, there's so many ways to do customization. And the beautiful thing about customization is that people are always willing to pay more.
Yes.
Okay, so it's something that a lot of people are like, yeah, I can offer it for free. Bump it up. People pay for it.
And it's also such good word of mouth advertising because they're going to be wearing this or, having this product that is obviously customized, and people will ask them, oh, where'd you get that? I love it. It's a conversation starter when it's that customized. So it'll be, word of mouth advertising for your business.
Yes, I mean, where do you get that? Well, I got it this place. But somebody will ask, man, what do you got? I got it on Amazon. When you sell something on Amazon, then they say, I got it from this specific store on Amazon. No, I got it from Amazon. Where do you get that? I got it from this online store. I can give you the link later. Okay, that is very different in the dynamics of marketing. So then the other thing is that you have so many different products, right? Like you just mentioned Shine On jewelry. Using Shine On jewelry, you can charge so much extra for customization. Because you think about this, when you go to the mall, there's this little place called Things Remember. And Things Remember sells the awful products, overpriced awful products. But what they sell is something that nobody else sells.
Yeah.
Personalization. And believe me, in my graduation, I have them still somewhere. I have about 3 mugs that people gave me with my name. The same mug, use different colors. But they went to Things Remember because they thought it was a very good idea for me to have a beer stein, with my name in there, for my office. And I'm like, first of all, people are going to think that I'm a beer drinker, but this is the only glass they had, right? A huge glass with some future in the middle and my name engraved. And those mugs were in 2000 when I graduated. They were about $20 each, and they charged $10 on top of that on engraving. I have no idea how much they charge now.
Wait, when you graduated from what? Now I gotta see. College. Okay. Because I was gonna say, are we the same age? Because I graduated high school in 2001, but college was 2005.
No, I graduated high school in the 90s.
That other century, way back then. So anyway, okay, thank you guys all for your questions. Mike is saying, let me go back. Sorry, Mike, missed your comment earlier. Let's see.
Sorry.
There will be lots of changes and stricter guidelines. What do you think? I think he was talking about Etsy. Let's see, the comment before was, I think Etsy's on the verge of exploding business. It's going to be a very big challenger in 2021.
Etsy right now is in the middle of an identity crisis. I think is how I would define it. Etsy has been forgetting who they are for the longest time, trying to reach market. They started as a handmade company that they didn't care about what eBay or Amazon were doing. They said, okay, the handmade people are making us absolutely no money because they are more like business for hobby. They were not really people that were doing this like full time. And they decided to add. I am 44, my friend, so I'm not. I don't know if I'm old or young, but I'm in the middle of the road, I guess. I hope, But that they started saying like anything that is used by hand is handmade, like digital products. Well, you design the digital product is handmade. You design your design for print on demand. That's handmade. They started making the handmade deal, but now people are even selling courses inside. Mike Asani sells his book on Etsy. That's nothing to do with handmade, but he typed it. So it's loopholes after loophole after loophole. So they are in a big identity crisis, and they've been trying to copy Amazon so much that right now is going to start becoming a problem for them. Because first of all, in order to with the free shipping, all they're doing is making products more expensive. Because we are not going to give them the free shipping, right? So we're adding the money into the cost. We're adding the shipping to the cost, and then we are just making it more expensive. And then they want us to offer discounts. Okay, we're going to bump the price a little bit more to give discounts and still make the same amount of money. So a shirt that should be originally $19.99 plus, $5 shipping now is $35.99 because plus free shipping and 25% discount, and now we end up into $25 that people should have paid if they have paid 19 plus 5, right? It's just crazy. Now they added that dumb thing where you can search by who ships faster, which is only making us compete now for delivery times when we honestly have zero control over that. That's going to get a lot of people in big trouble very fast, very soon, because they're going to start trying to cheat the system and say, okay, I can ship this in 3 days. And Rainfo, T-Launch, custom cats, people can say, wait, it's going to ship in 7, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to
I
ship
had to share Mike's comment. He said, oh my gosh, you're both so young. Thank you, Mike.
So it is one of those deals that they are trying to appease a market that is not even asking for that, right? They know when
Let's pause there for a second and catch people up. So Etsy, I'm sure everybody knows about Etsy and everything, but it used to be where free shipping was not so pushed. Like Etsy now really wants everyone to do free shipping. So with Shopify, it's up to you. You run your business however you want to. If you want to do free shipping, great. If you don't, great. If you want to run promotions, great. If you don't, you're more in control. So these are some of the changes going on with Etsy right now.
Yeah. So so to answer your question, do you think it's gonna be, to the guidelines? I'm not really sure, because you still find a hell of a lot of people selling the Star Wars, Disney, Mickey Mouse, and stuff like that. I honestly don't think they really care that much, to be honest, because there are some stores that are years old infringing. I think right now all they want is market, because they are actually now they have to care for the stockholders, so they're going to be more profit driven than anything else. So are they going to be a big challenger? Yes, of course they're going to be a big challenger, because e-commerce is growing everywhere. So it's going to be a big difference. I think Etsy at some point is going to have to finally say, you know what, to hell with this handmade deal, and you say, you know what, we are eBay now, or we are Amazon now, because even eBay now, it's opening their own fulfillment centers because they want to compete with the Prime system. And Etsy is feeling behind because they cannot. But the difference is that Etsy is never going to be able to offer Prime services because nothing is manufactured; everything is handmade. And so it is one of those deals that you're putting pressure on production, you're sacrificing quality to ship faster, and eventually, the supplier, the customers are going to break, and it's going to say, the sellers are going to say, you know what, I'm going to open my store away from you because you're asking me for too much, and I cannot compete with I cannot go at the speeds and cost that you want me to sell.
Hi, Mario. Mario said a nice comment. Can't listen now, but we'll definitely check out later. Have a fantastic day. You too, Mario. And so let's talk about Etsy for a second. You've had courses and you've helped people build Etsy stores. So a lot of the people watching probably have an Etsy store. So for people like that have an Etsy store but don't have a Shopify store, will this bootcamp help them? Would you suggest them pretty much taking the same brand they have on Etsy and just starting a Shopify store, or do you feel like it should be different? What are your thoughts on that?
You have followed me for a while. You will know that I'm a strong believer. The reason why I teach Etsy and Shopify is not because I want to, have two different marketplaces that I want to specialize. It's because I think they are perfectly married with each other. When somebody asks me where should I begin, I tell them go to Etsy. If they're completely noobs, I tell them, okay, go and start a little bit on merch by Amazon, get the feeling of at least the language, and then let's go into Etsy. Not necessarily sell, but get into feeling, and start learning how to do keywords, stuff like that, and then come into Etsy. But the reason why I like Etsy so much is because Etsy has been not only copying Amazon, but it's also copying the marketer model, right? Where they are understanding that in order for sellers to sell more, they also have to be able to have control of the sales. and they also have to have control of, of the marketing, right? Amazon is a very monopolistic kind of company where they want to do everything. They want to completely control absolutely every single aspect. Even if they allow you to run ads, they don't give you the data enough to know what the heck is going on. You're like, I made some money, put more money in it, but you don't really know a lot of data, especially on those AMS ads, right? Etsy is more like, yes, their ad system is kind of crappy, but it has so much data inside that it helps you analyze if your ad is worth continue running or not. So, and Etsy has this other idea that they allow you to install a Facebook pixel in their store, which if you're in marketing, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
They allow you to install Google Analytics, so you can go to the Google panel and you can see exactly how your store is behaving in terms of traffic, clicks and stuff like that. So, I understand that's a little more advanced for most people, but those are little things that you have there, you really want to use them. They allow you to grab emails by connecting a Weber, which other people say, it doesn't allow for emails. I'm like, go to the little section in the dashboard that says integrations, and the very first integration is a Weber. It's completely allowed. Because believe me, people challenge me every time I say it. It's like, you are lying to your customers. I'm like, no, it's not. It's allowed to get your emails. The reason the emails you have to use to send people back to Etsy, right? You got to send them back to Etsy. It's not to use them to drive them to your other thousand business. But after a while, when you have a good number of sales on Etsy, and you have a good, brand that you build based on niche, and you have everything that is, in line with a good brand, you go to this little pixel that you never use for Facebook ads, because there is no point in running Facebook ads on Etsy, because you run an ad on Etsy and then they're going to buy from somebody else. You're just throwing money into the trash. But that pixel is firing every single time. So you go to Facebook, and now you tell Facebook, run me a lookalike audience for this, or you can tell Etsy, Facebook, run ads on this pixel. Now you can take this pixel and put it in your Shopify store. And now you have data for your niche, like forever and ever, right? Now you can run a store from scratch, run a brand new store with a lot of data. You have all the emails that you've been grabbing from Etsy. You can put them now in your Shopify store. Maybe you cannot use marketing because you don't want to run, break the rules with Etsy, but you can enter all those emails into the database on Facebook and say, okay, Facebook, these are all my customers. Let's put an ad in front of them, and that is completely okay. So there's no way Etsy will actually even ever know that, right? So there's many things that connect. It's, to me, evolving from Etsy to Shopify is a natural progress, where you learn how to drive your traffic, how to create a good listing, SEO heavy, because Google spends a lot of time on Etsy driving, and Google drives a lot of traffic to Etsy. So you learn about doing SEO, you learn about doing a good listing, good tags, good keywording, good images, some customer support, customer service, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And and by the time you get into Shopify, you are like 75% ahead of the curve, because all you have to do now is literally just run a store that you have probably never run before. Now you're like, okay, now I'm going to implement an email, a domain. Now I'm going to have to drive my traffic. But if you did Etsy correctly, you already created your Facebook page, you already created your Instagram account, you already created your Pinterest account. So you already have social media presence. So if you move all of that into, Shopify, you're not starting from scratch.
Right.
You have a huge foundation, and to start driving sales should be a lot easier than if you go from, I want to sell print on demand, I want to start a Shopify store. Okay, how do I start? That is starting like blind, and that is why many people fail into business. But you start, with the foundation, and you start building that customer base. Going to Shopify, it is best. A lot of mistakes people make by going to Shopify is that they want to sell from day one. They create the account, and they run ads, and they expect sales, and then they get upset after they spend $3,000 on ads and they never made a sale. It's because, dude, you didn't let your store settle. You didn't let Facebook don't understand your store, who's your possible, customer, identify it, and analyze your traffic. You let it go a little bit organic, and you just put in like $5 a day. The sales are gonna come. Because Facebook is gonna start understanding, once you put money into ads, who is who is interested in your product, and know who you want it to be interested in your product. And that is a big difference. A Shopify store, you give it time to take off. You invested $30 a month and you let it settle, and you start getting your keywords in place, and you start getting your Google Analytics in place, and you start getting your social media connected, and everything starts flowing, traffic starts to come, and then you can run the ads. But then you have a good email marketing system in place as well, because you took the time to write your email sequences saying, thank you, I saw that you came to my store, you didn't buy, here is a coupon, come back, we have it for you. Hey, I know your order has been purchased, thank you so much, here is another tracking. Hey, you made a purchase about 2 weeks ago, would you like to have another one? Here's another coupon for you to come back. I mean, different things. But a lot of people open the store, they don't even bother about the marketing campaigns, they don't even bother about having anything in place, and they're just upset that the stores don't make absolutely zero sales. It's an ecosystem that you have to build. And that is a long-term goal. A Shopify store is something that you build because it's a business. And it's actually a tangible asset. You can sell it. People buy Shopify stores every single day based on your sales volume and your email list size. It's an asset.
And Shopify has its own marketplace for that.
Yes, they do. They do.
It makes it even easier if you do want to sell it. So, okay, well, this has been awesome. So many words of wisdom. Just real quick, just to sort of encapsulate everything and make sure people understand, you have a boot camp starting on Wednesday. Tell them a little bit about how it works and what they will get from it.
Well, the boot camp starts on Wednesday, and it's going to be four sessions of around 2 hours each. To be honest, when we did the Etsy, we had something went 3 hours because of all the questions that were asked at the end. But there's a fifth one where I usually leave in case there is topics that I couldn't cover, in the first 4 or any other Q&A. And usually that one is like an hour after, like a week after. So you give people a week, and all the classes are usually like one day yes, one day no, so that people take time to implement what they learn. So the next class that when they come, there's always going to be time for me to answer questions. So you said, okay, I got stuck in here, and everybody's going to have a chance to say, okay, you're not afraid of sharing your screen. Show me your screen. Show me what you're doing, and we can fix it here in front of everybody. Now, if you want me to do it privately, that can be done, but that is as a coaching call, right? But if you're in the workshop, any question and then on any thing that is done at that time, it's included. So because the whole point is that everybody learns from the questions, right? It's about doing that. And that's what it's called a bootcamp, right? It's like we're gonna get a store. So the goal is that by day 5, we have a store ready to go. Now, it doesn't mean that I want you to go and spend $500 in ads tomorrow, right? I want you to tweak it, add more product, get it, set up, because a Shopify store also requires to be optimized, right? It needs to be loading fast, and it's something that a lot of people need to worry about and really invest some time on making their store fast in loading. There is nothing more frustrating than when you go and you find an ad or something and you click on it, and then you see this spiral of horror for a minute. And then by the time the website opens, you already forgot what you were even there for, and you just close the website and move on and go to the next. That happens, and that is money you lost. You just think about it, it's a lot of money that you lost because of that. So speed is a must. So those days include that. Now, this is not a course. This is literally, I'm gonna be going through. Literally, what we're gonna do is I have a Shopify developer account. Okay, so I'm gonna open a store from scratch, literally like brand new, and we are going to install from the domain. We're going to install the theme. I'm going to show you how to do everything now, everything that is done, every little section. We're going to do all the pages. We're going to do the terms and conditions. We're going to do, of course, I'm not an attorney, so I won't tell you what to write because every state is different. You're going to have to do those on your own. The ones that Shopify provide for free, they are more than enough, but some states may require different. So it depends on what you want to do. Honestly, if you are just launching, I wouldn't invest a lot of money on that, but I'm not an attorney. So, and then we will do menus, categories, products, integrate them with some suppliers, some that some that you probably have never heard of, and we won't work with every single one of them because we won't. If we do everyone, we will be doing this for weeks. But I will give you ideas of what other suppliers are there. Customization, we will do a couple examples on customization and how they flow through the process. And we will install a couple of apps just to show you how the apps get installed. And then we're going to connect it to some social media channels, and we're going to connect it also to eBay. eBay gives you 50 listings a month, so it doesn't make any sense not to connect your store to eBay. It's free.
Wow, that's great.
So we can connect Shopify to eBay for free, and you can literally list products every month if you want to. So we do that, but of course I won't cover every single supplier. I won't cover every single app. I won't cover some management tools that I use. I won't, things like that. Those ones are in the course. So the Bootcamp is only $97, which honestly I try to price it to to make it very affordable.
Yeah.
As I said, my course alone is $247. But if you buy the workshop, when you go into the section, you're going to be a little deal that is going to say, hey, do you want to buy the full course? It will be an extra $99. So, and then when you buy that, it's going to be another offer that is going to be like, I don't know if you remember last year, Michelle and I thought how to do books on Shopify.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So that class we sold it for $127. You can get that one for $69.
So guys, that's if you have Kindle, like if you have KDP books, journals and things like that.
You want to get that one because in that class we teach you how to do books, calendars, and digital products.
Wow.
Some of those people want to do digital products. In that class, that's an add-on. It's also a workshop that it's already recorded, so you have to watch the videos. But it teaches you how to do books. Your KDP books, you can now have them on Shopify as well.
Yeah.
And with better quality, way better quality.
You guys can see the video. That's one of the times Fernando's been on the show talking about that course.
Like literally, this one I created it with that app.
Nice.
And it's a spiral, and it's shiny, and it's pretty, and I like it. I am almost finished with this one.
Nice.
And then an invitation to join my membership program where, you can get coached, also in terms of these courses and anything else that you want. So, what?
Sorry, I don't know who that is. Is there a way to delete it?
I'm so lost.
I think I can delete it. Hold on, let's see if it works. Okay, I think I deleted it. I'll have to check Facebook later. Sorry, guys. Please do not WhatsApp anybody.
That was hilarious. That was so random right there.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Look, guys, I apologize to anybody listening to the podcast. We have somebody spamming the chat.
Oh, okay. So that person wants everybody to message. Okay.
Did it work? Did it go away? Hold on, I'm trying to block.
No, you blocked them, but the message is there. I don't know if he's a woman or.
Okay. Did the message go away?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But yeah, anyways, anybody has any questions? I mean, we still have about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, if you ever have somebody asking you to send money, please do not do that. Especially to a WhatsApp account or whatever they were saying. Oh my God. Apologies. All right. Well, I'm excited. I think this will be great. This is definitely something that everybody I've heard it be talked about a lot more. Now Merch Money's been around since 2018. In the beginning, everybody was excited about Merch by Amazon. And then in the last year, I mean, there's still a lot of people excited about Merch by Amazon, but it's more and more people that are all about Shopify. That's what everybody's doing right now. So I appreciate it that you are doing this for everybody.
Merch was good at the beginning. I mean, it's a lot of people right now living from their old glories.
Yeah.
And they're bragging about how successful they were, but those are all glories.
Yeah.
It becomes so crowded, and that it's
I think it's also people just want to grow. I mean, you can definitely make lots of money from merch, but at the end of the day, it's like you want to have your own company, your own brand. Like you want to have your own customers that you can interact with.
Yeah, I mean, you can make good money on merch, but you have to have a staff to help you with all the loading and managing and checking the trademarks and all the. I mean, to be honest, in a Shopify store, all you need is about 20, 30 designs.
Yeah.
That's it.
You definitely don't need 30,000 or whatever most people have now.
If you're making $100,000 on merch, you have to be in the 30,000 tier, which is crazy. I mean, I jumped ship on 10,000, and that's when I said, to hell with this.
Yeah, I was always so excited to get to 10,000, and now it just feels like that's like so low. Like now I'm at 20,000, but it's like even 20,000 seems so low. Like there's so many people that are at 200,000 right now. It's like it's going to be interesting to see where it is in a few years. Like if people are going to be at million tier or whatever it is.
And what's the point? All they're doing is saturating, a marketplace with useless products that nobody's buying.
Yeah.
It's the mentality of as long as it sells once, it's always going to stay there. Why do you want to have a product that only sells once? It's something that I never understood. It was something that it was very unpopular, my point of view. I got in a lot of arguments with certain other influencers in the neighborhood because I was like, why do you want to sell one? It's like, what is the goal? I mean, why do I want to have one listing for perpetuity that only sold once? And why do I want to sell it for $12.99 for 1 cent profit? To have it for, I mean, it's like, what is the purpose of all this? So it was difficult for me. I mean, at some point when the merch started evolving and so many people started giving, advice that was not business based, but it was more like, use impulse kind of, or like, this is what worked for me, but it came with no marketing or no planning or no any analytics or whatsoever, saying, yes, I'll be satisfied, with it sells once, and then because it may sell again in a year. The listing cost you, that design cost you about $5.
And guys,
for a hope. It's like weird. It never made sense.
But there's so many ways. There's so many ways, guys. So this is awesome to have Fernando be able to help with Shopify for everyone interested. But if you're still doing merch, I'm still doing merch. If you're still doing merch is okay too. Yeah. It's just different. I mean, it really is just different.
It's just different.
It's just different. So
Shopify and Etsy, I'm your guy. Merch by Amazon, I'm sorry. I will tell you, like, go find money somewhere else. But at the same time, I want more money that I can make in merch, so it's different. But yeah,
I feel like from my point of view, it's nice to have a stream of income over there, because once it's up, it's up. Like, you really don't have to do anything. So I appreciate.
I agree.
I appreciate my merch by Amazon account.
Ask me if I got upset about the check I got in Christmas from the products that I had still somehow.
Right. It just becomes
selling. No, I didn't. That bought all my kids' presents, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, I don't mind it. I mean, I haven't uploaded anything on merch in about 18 months now.
And you still get royalty checks.
I still get royalties, about $300 every month in average.
That's my thought. Like I built up
Yeah.
Merch by Amazon to 10K, and then I was like, okay, now that's a passive income stream. And I still upload, but just not nearly as much as I used to. So now I'm at 20K tier. I upload like, I don't know, twice a month or something like that. So to me, that's just a passive income stream. So now you start building up other things, build up Kindle, build up, like what you're doing now, start a Shopify store. Like there's sky's the limit. It's like, once you build up one passive income stream, just start working on the next one. So
Yes.
that's my thoughts.
And print on demand is here to stay. It is. And the fact is, people always ask me, is there a market saturation for print on demand products? And the last time I checked, we are about almost 400 million Americans only in the United States, and none of us are nudist full time. So we will always need clothes.
Oh my God. We have to if I was better with editing, which I shouldn't say better. If I knew how to edit at all, I would edit out that line. Put it on Instagram.
But it's true, right? I mean, it's like you have 400 million customers that are going to buy some sort of clothing in the next year. Yeah. So, and they all have relatives, they all have friends and family, they all have someone that need to buy something from them. Although a bunch of them drink coffee, tea, or something, so they need a mug. Yes. So the market saturation is not really happening. So
I don't see it ever happening because, first of all, people have been saying it's saturated since 2016. So if you look at old videos, because it felt like it, because there's so many new designs. I totally understood the sentiment.
I believe there is niche saturation, no market saturation.
I don't even think that, because every day something happens. It's kind of like saying the news is saturated. It's like, how? Every single day something new happens. And with print on demand, people want to express that new thing that happened.
See,
so
the problem with the niche is not the products, it's the keywords. You can come up with a new design that is completely different than the other one, but the keywords are the same to the one prior.
But that's where having a Facebook account or having ad account or something that.
But when you are in the marketplace and you're in stuff like that, you have to compete with all those keywords. Mm-hmm. But when you're in Shopify, the keywords are irrelevant, right? What matters is your marketing strategy. That is why you separate yourself. But when you're for example, Merch by Amazon, people have been using the same keywords to describe the same different products in the same niche for almost 5 years. So you have now 5 years of products that may be completely different from each other, but using the same keyword. And that is the problem with you having marketplace. That is the market saturation that some people don't know how to explain, but it's happening. It is a keyword saturation, not a market saturation.
I like that. That's a good one. I would have clipped that out too. So, all right. Well, thank you so much.
When you block that person and you block everybody, because everybody went quiet.
Oh, geez. I really apologize if I did. I don't think so. Guys, do you have any last comments, questions? I know I talk about Clubhouse too much, but if you guys are over there, definitely look up Fernando, look up myself. I would like to start doing a regular weekly call over there. I'm thinking Monday nights at 9 p.m. after our YouTube show, so that we can go over there and everybody just talk and ask questions. It's like the after show, the after Merch Money show.
I mean, you can follow me in Clubhouse at Fer Sustaita, F-E-R, and then my last name, and you're the whole name, so you're easy.
Yep. And you can follow Merch Money over there. We have the Merch Money Club over there. So it's a lot of fun. And for anybody that is watching this that came from Clubhouse, welcome and thank you. Anything else? Last things?
It can be addictive. So Clubhouse can be addictive.
So give yourself a couple days of not accomplishing much while you get used to the app. But I
have no idea how I ended up talking to Terry Crews.
I'm on 3 different shows now. People have asked me, "Oh, can you be on my YouTube channel? Can you be on this? I have my whole week booked of people that I've met from Clubhouse.
I was with Terry Crews and I was talking to him and I'm like, "Are you the guy that is in all these movies?" And he's like, "Or is a different Terry Crews?" Like, "No, it's me, dude. It's whatever."
Oh my God!
And I'm like, okay. I have no idea how I ended up getting. Because somebody invited me to a chat and I ended up in the chat and and then they put me in the panel and I had no idea who did that. It was just people that just are adding, and I was there and I was like, okay, what I'm doing here. It's weird. It's interesting.
There's some like big YouTubers that just got on, and I was like, is that the same person? Because they have like, like 100 followers or something because they just joined that like day. But it's so funny. It's like, oh, hi.
You want to watch a very chaotic one? Watch Gary Vaynerchuk around 7 a.m. in the morning. He goes and he makes his room start get huge, and then everybody starts talking at the same time. It's wacko.
Yeah.
But yes, Clubhouse is awesome, and I have an invitation. If anybody wants one, I have one invitation. So
okay, I have one too, but I keep getting new ones, so probably in a couple of days I'll have more. So
I have to give them away to get more.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay, well I have one more left to give away then.
Yes, you got to give them away. So I mean, when you have one left, they give you more.
Oh, okay.
But yes, okay. Any you guys have any questions? Feel free to message me. The links are already in the titles of this live. Yes. Also, Susan shared it in the chat around 1:25 p.m. So Central Time. There's a link that is Helen's link. You want to join? This starts on Wednesday, noon Central Time, or 1. I don't remember. Around that time, noon on Wednesday. So you guys want to join? I would love to have you there. I don't expect this to be a huge amount of people, which makes it a lot better for you. Because I will be able to have more time to answer any questions. And honestly, I never built this thinking that it's going to be like hundreds. I mean, honestly, I don't expect more than 50. So it will be very intimate. We're going to ask questions. We will build it. We will try to make it as fun as possible. Of course, you guys know that I am always serious. So we will do something like that.
I feel like that's probably not true, but it'll be a good time. So, all right. Well, thank you guys. And definitely come back on Monday night at 8:00. We will be doing a show with Nick and Q. They do a print on demand show on Clubhouse, and they also have YouTube channels. So we'll be talking about that. So, all right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you.
See you guys all later. Bye.
Bye.